Hey Geminis, and welcome to your April 2018 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. And really beautiful energy coming forward for you, Gemini. I really feel that April is a month of breaking away from false concepts, really a time of reclaiming your narrative and coming back into your purpose. You guys have quite a few reversals in your reading this month. King of Wands, Knight of Wands, the Star, Temperance. So two Major Arcana, two court cards. So some of the really divine connection that you're having is feeling a little bit misunderstood or feeling a little bit skewed. So I feel like a lot of you are just feeling not calibrated, feeling like, okay, why am I on this path? Why am I in this career? Why am I in this relationship? How did my life come here? While at the same time feeling very blessed and trapped by many things. And this is something that I've noticed in a lot of the signs and a lot of people right now is it's a hard to define period of time. We've come out of Pisces time and entered into Aries time, and all of a sudden we have this thrust of life. All of a sudden we have this impetus, this ability to move, this ability to progress, and we see very clearly where our restraints are. You know, Eight of Swords energy, Seven of Wands energy. We see very clearly where the opposition is and where the restraint is, and hopefully you see very clearly also where the power lies and where the balance and magnetism is as well. So much major arcana in this reading for you guys: the Magician, Temperance, the Star, the Empress. So for those of you who've been wanting to start the business, write the book, really creative endeavors, that will be very supported, although it will be very important to prioritize your health and prioritize the balance of your body. That is feeling a little bit denied in the Gemini energy for me right now. The Star and Temperance both deal with hydration, balance of the body, balance of the emotions, taking time out for yourself. Make sure that you are giving yourself care and that you are maybe even taking a vacation, a getaway this month, or planning one out, making 30 minutes a day a vacation or a getaway, something like that, because I do sense like a workaholic type of energy present for you. It might be good to get a massage. It might be good to get to the chiropractor. Something that makes you feel balanced and aligned more. Really wonderful ideas coming through. Your energy is so much easier to access than a lot of people's this month. I'm really happy for you guys that you do have the Magician straight up, because even though you have that Eight of Swords and the Seven of Wands kind of at both ends of the reading, you find your power between those things. You find your power between the restraints, between the opposition, and start to make concrete a plan of escape or a plan of action. Not escapism, but like I sense that Geminis who are in the difficult relationships or in a location that is not harmonizing with your energy, the plan is developed here to move away from it. And just make sure that you're not really hurting yourself to do that. Like, don't put this unrealistic pressure on yourself to move too quickly. Make sure that you are establishing point B to be something that doesn't cause more problem than point A, because point A, like, you couldn't think clearly, you know what I mean? Really be cautious with what you deem to be your point B right now. What's your end game? Where are you moving toward? Because you can really get it much easier than you think. So you think, okay, I'm in this town that I don't like, or I'm in this relationship that I don't like. I want to be in this type of relationship because it compensates. And then before you know it, it's like you could be there and you may wake up and realize, whoa, this is never what I even wanted. It's just because I was deprived in some way. So really get to the deeper parts of yourself and think about, what do I need as a person? What do I actually want? Where are my true desires versus my desires as a result of being deprived of something? That's where your power lies, is through realizing what it is that you actually want and need. To get into the week to week, to get more clear on this though, Gemini's week number 1, you have King of Wands reversed, rooted down by Seven of Wands. Fire energy right off the bat, right into Aries time. Think about your burnout and think about your opposition as well. Who's against you? Who is against you during this time, and how can you get to higher ground? What are your advantages? Natural advantages are important here. Spontaneous natural advantages even. So can you just deny people who are giving you this type of complex? Can you have that x-ray vision for yourself? Can you allow yourself to see through the idle gossip? Or maybe somebody's like talking a lot behind your back, but they're nice to your face, and it's like you sort of can tell, but because maybe you don't have proof, you're like, no, they wouldn't do that to me. there is sort of the energy of gossip and the energy of people just talking a lot and not really knowing what they're talking about. Um, and in more serious cases, I feel that some of you just don't feel very supported, don't feel very admired or held up to your rank or something. There is something with the ego and the hierarchy coming up there. But do remember that you are above this. Seven of Wands is always, especially upright, a signal that you are above the opposition. And despite maybe having a lot of opposition, your rank or your stature gives you the momentum that you need to overcome it. Second week, Knight of Wands reversed, rooted down by the Star reversed. So, yeah, that's kind of hard. That's a hard one because it feels to me with that you had a lot of plans or you had a lot of goals that needed to be accomplished by now, and something about them has not quite turned out the way that you expected. Or maybe you had to really devote your energy to other aspects of life, parenting or relationship or getting your finances together, and you sort of come into April and you're like, oh my gosh, by April 2018, I was supposed to be here and I'm so much further away. Don't cut yourself off at the knees with this because it feels like this process of what's it called, detour, this process of detour that you may have gone through, that you're waking up to in the second week of April, is where your magic comes from, is where you step into your magician type of role, because you've seen something over about the last 5 or 6 months, that ending time of Saturn and Sagittarius. You've seen something that catalyzes and motivates you in unknown ways until you have overcome this specific situation. Third week Geminis, the Magician rooted down by Temperance reversed. So empowering, and just incredible. I think at its simplest form, this is a sign that you have the power to be balanced. You have the power to be the bigger person, to see it from all perspectives, to be there for yourself while not necessarily having to deny or negate other people. There's something very angelic and almost above human consciousness emerging in you during this time, and also transmuting difficult energies into benevolent ones is an interesting thing as well. It feels like maybe some of you might be involved in some kind of healing journey, or you're doing something psychological, as if you want to do something like YouTube, or you want to do a master's degree or something, and you want to be more psychological with your approach to life. It feels like you're transmuting some of the chaos or trauma energy that you have encountered into a guidebook or a reference sheet for you to come back to use in your profession or something. And even for things completely unrelated to psychological details or psychological mapping, it feels like what you're transmuting here in the third week gives you this tool or this place of reference to really thrive more than most other people can. It's almost like a cheat sheet or something. So definitely take your advantage in the third week. Look around yourself. Be very aware in the third week of April to what benevolence and what advantages are present, and see how you can maybe even increase that a bit for yourself. How can you see that advantage and multiply it or turn it into an exponential type of experience and situation? Because coming into the fourth week, you do have that Eight of Swords rooted down by the Empress. So cycles which deal with feeling trapped and at the peril of other people do come to the forefront, and you start to see that actually you're pulling in new possibilities. So for those of you who have been in a relationship for too long, you may start to get courted by somebody new, and it will kind of be like, oh my gosh, I have to get out of this relationship, but how am I going to make this happen? What are people going to think of me when I'm in a new relationship? And for some of you, it's more also along the lines of the layers of your personality. Like maybe you are the Empress on the outside, but actually Eight of Swords in the inside, or vice versa. I've seen this more recently as well, where people want to be the victim, and in reality, they are just trying to magnetize people in and suck up other people's energy. Think about that whole concept in your life, even outside of yourself. Who are these people in your life? Like, be able to identify it, be able to see which people are trying to suck up your energy, and are playing that role of Eight of Swords when in reality they're much better off than they're giving themselves credit for, and sort of be able to see how ill that is, or how neglectful to the self that really is, because Gemini as a sign, can be around a lot of these types of people because that's sort of one of your roles karmically in the karmic system, is to communicate this type of thing to people. Like, okay, you are in a victim complex, and maybe you communicate it in a much more auspicious way than me. I'm not a very Gemini centric person, but that's what you do. You show people. You deliver people the realization of these types of cycles. So it may be time to do that, and it may also be time to do that for yourself as well. What is your appearance saying versus your actual situation or your actual state in life? Integrating those things, again, temperance reverse is like a lack of integration too, and the star reversed as well. So really coming into a place where you're allowing yourself to integrate these dimensions, or these not dimensions like portals, but dimensions like dimensions of your personality, like the different sides of your personality. Allowing yourself to integrate that into one versus needing to switch that up, like being a chameleon too much, because Gemini can be like a chameleon to a fault as well, like a really changing who you are based on who you're around, like having a specific political opinion or a specific taste depending on the tastes or political opinions of those around you or of the day, or if there's like a chance of rain or whatever. So really start to forge that solid identity within yourself, because Queen of Swords reversed as your central theme. You are in your element this month, but something about that element needs like a facelift. So perhaps a good time for cosmetic surgery or fixing something that you feel is out of balance within you, like chiropractic or massage. Some kind of self-care, health-care wouldn't be bad right now, but most importantly, it's the redefinition of your element, the redefinition of your presence, your identity as a person, because it's very clear, it's very present, but something about it is falling, or not quite turned upright in the way that you want it to be. This could also be the Mercury retrograde coming through as well, because Mercury is your ruling planet. And Queen of Swords reverse can sometimes indicate a fogginess, or it's like a loading screen. To me, it's like when your technology is lagging a lot, or when you're running out of battery, or the loading screen is lasting forever, and the video editor just won't export the video, in my case, is the Queen of Swords reverse type of energy. So maybe an update in technology, or an update in processing power for your brain or your computer's brain would be wonderful right now. Anyway, Geminis, you truly are thriving a lot more than other zodiac signs. I had to dig a little bit to get into those more shadowy places. Really allow yourself to thrive this month, and allow yourself to be on higher ground, to integrate these dimensions of your personality, and to find your power, to find your identity. If this reading resonated for you, I would so appreciate it if you would click the center of your screen and subscribe to my channel. Your likes and comments make my day, and you can check the description box below. I post a lot of cosmic updates on Twitter, and I'm also on Instagram and Patreon. All those links are down below. And without further ado, I will be seeing you guys in May. Much love. Bye.